Alright. I said I'm gonna... Dead and Blues, or I could start the nosy reporter quest. See where this is gonna be going. The street lights filter into the apartment in a stark white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expanse entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Okay, need to check again. I'm always over precautious. Is that an actual word? Yeah, it is. Because I said it. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. What's a sartorial limitation? I've tried to dress inconspicuously because of the masquerade. That's very sensible of you. I suppose I should commend you for that. Sophie walks over to the window and looks out, the street lights playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You'd think that as a vampire, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a reporter after you? Yes, a terrible, persistent creature. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it, blood, treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down from across. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors. Please be a dear and explain to him that there's nothing for him here. Is this about the masquerade? That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed, you're learning. Isn't this dangerous for all Kindred? Of course it is, if we don't make it go away. Do you know anything about this reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. Let's see where this is gonna be going. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the games she plays with the city's mortals and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside on the street, there's a slight, warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. Let's stay put and keep an eye out. For a while, it feels like nothing is happening in the New York night. People are walking past you on their way to whatever nightlife diversion helped them forget their sordid lives. As you contemplate going back inside and telling Sophie you're not looking for a new career as a lookout, you suddenly notice that lens of a camera pointed at you across the street. Hey! You yell and run across the street. It's a man you're sure you've seen somewhere before. Rotund, pasty, someone who spent too much time in badly ventilated rooms stained with cigarette smoke. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of muggings and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you are following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield, its heavy objective resting on his paunch. With a start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses from a picture next to a byline in some trashy paper someone thrust in your face at a company party. His name is Frank Dottery, and he'd taken pictures of one of your investors filling up a sex worker at a nightclub. You'd been there too, and the funny thing was, what Dogberty showed in the photo was just the tip of the iceberg. After all, work hard and play hard was the order of the day. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that. You're Frank Dottery. I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right? I'm a real reporter, damn it! What are you reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high society circles. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were a lot of pictures of her through the years. That's the thing. In fact, look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from the society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyles, makeup and names, but the face remains the same. So you're a stalker of some sort? Come on, I'm just doing my job. So why does this matter? Maybe it doesn't, but people are always interested in staying young. 3 words: extreme plastic surgery. All the celebrities do it, only her doctor is better than the rest. You look critically at the photos of Frank's phone. Sure, I guess if you find who the surgeon is, let me know. I could have some work done. You're right, it makes no sense. Damn. So how would you explain it? Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax? Sure, anything can be hoax, but I dug up those old papers from the archives myself. I got to have something usable. Safest bet and most secure dominate live and destroy your research. Or it could also be legal action. In the end, he's just a reporter. He doesn't have money for legal actions and he doesn't want to threaten it. Let's give it a try. Frank, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you something you can work with. Take it. Frank is clearly taken aback by changing your tone, but he's a gossip reporter. He's used to people trying to push him. Look, I'm a reporter. You can bluster, but you can't hide the truth. I'll tell you one more thing about Sophie. She's good at suing people. Do you think you can afford a lawsuit? The job is all I have. Don't do this to me. It's your choice. I'm not your enemy. Desist, and there won't be any trouble. Frank is taken aback at the brutality of your tone. He has been intimidated many times before, but he also knows that sometimes the threats are real. This time, he senses you're not kidding. He's just an aging man trying to salvage a career. Yo, Wayne, I hope you and Sophie Langley have a happy life. Deflated and hunched over, Frank drudges away from the alley. You stare at his receding figure. It's hard not to feel sorry for him. In Sophie Langley, he took on something way too powerful for a small fish like himself. Let's rest. A piece of paper is sticking out of your mailbox. It's a computer printout, a note, and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, "Meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up and we'll take it from there." Sounds like Kaiser. No signature. The place marked on the map is the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. You check the phone that Mia passed on to you. No new messages, no missed calls. Oh, Mia. That makes more sense. Annas are tended to use more technology than the Camarilla. Besides Kaiser, of course. It's all a bit fishy, but there's only one way to find out who addressed this to you. Looks like tomorrow evening has been planned out for you. Let's rest, and let's begin a new night. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. You take the car down to Brooklyn. park on the front street, and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure of about Mia's size is standing there, dressed in an oversized jacket and looking out toward Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. Is it true? But I do not think it's true. If I do not think it's true, then it cannot be true. And if it cannot be true, then... Let's begin with I'm supposed to meet somebody here. Hey, I'm meeting somebody here tonight. I don't suppose that would be you. The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you have never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. Okay. Plain and unmemorable seems like a mask of thousand faces. Why, yes, it's me. We are meeting now. You are meeting me. I am meeting you. Such a joyous occasion. Okay. You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead. So, you got the message. And who are you, jokers? Your, how do you say it? Entourage. The boss wants to meet you. Oh, you mean Torque? What? You gotta be shitting me. Torque ain't the boss of jack shit. I mean boss Callahan, you dumbass. Ah, shit. I'm not gonna meet this motherfucker. I suggest you get a move on. We got places to be. The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness. The litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles. Or we can do it the hard way. I'm curious of what Callahan wants, and I'm a Ventrue. I do business. If a business opportunity appears, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, okay. I'll go with you. Smart. They lead you down the pier and onto a motorboat. The engine starts. Put this on. It points to a cloth sack. One of the guys is holding you down. The woman is still there, whispering to herself. Somehow you hear her voice clearly in your head. It becomes a nagging suggestion to put the sack over your head. You don't really want to do it, but your hands go through the motion all the same. It takes 15 or so minutes to reach your destination, you think. The engine dies down and you are led onshore and then further, up an incline and through some overgrowth. 10 more minutes of walking, maybe, until a deep voice reaches your ears. Vincent, my dear boy, why the hood over our guest's face? Well, boss, I thought, no, that will not do. How many times do I have to repeat myself, Vincent? You don't have to think. You have to listen and do what you're told. Yes? Yes, boss. Well, take that ridiculous sack off their head, will you? The hood comes off. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight, dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing, with a monocle and a graying red hair. Is this Callahan? Damn. He really is old school. Okay. Apologies for Vincent's unacceptable behavior. He can be a little thick sometimes. Isn't that right, Vincent? Yeah, boss, sometimes. A little. I believe you already know who I am. Your boss Callahan. Right you are, and I'm guessing you know my role in the city. I represent the Anarch movement, while you... I'm not quite sure what you represent. I have invited you here to find out. Now, let's make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you. Truly disappointed. But I arranged this meeting to allow you to make amends. First though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. So, do you know why you're here? Is this because I wanted to meet with Torque? Ah yes, you're not stupid, so that's a nice change of pace. Torque is the reason why you're here. Or that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told. Yes? Mia. Oh, how I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman, And that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed, the prudent thing to do is to tolerate both her and that blasted ebony-skinned mentor of hers. We got a racist. If you ask me, it all went downhill when you women forgot voting rights, made you believe you were on the same level as us men. What a ridiculous notion that was. Oh my god. Finish with your disgusting rant? Oh, fledgling, you have no idea who you're messing with. He looks at you with rage in his eyes, and you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying. Now that I have your full attention, I'll request something from you, and you'll obey me to the letter. But that comes later. First, you'll answer a few questions. The first of which is, who pointed you to Mia? I'm not gonna say it. Nobody. It was my idea. Oh, really? What was your intention behind the meeting? I needed her help with something. Oh, come on now. You'll have to be more specific than that. And I needed to know exactly what it was that you discussed. I don't remember if that's true about the favor. I completely forgot everything. In a way, I'm not lying. Because I remember she wanted me to do something in the bar to figure out who that ghoul was working for. I'm gonna do it. She wanted me to do a favor, to grill a guy named Bruce about his master's name. Oh, is that so? Vincent, do we know this Bruce? I don't know no Bruce, boss. Why am I not surprised, Vincent? I'll investigate this myself. Later. See, that wasn't hard now, was it? Of course, I can't be sure how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth about as much as yesternight's horseshit. But I'll find out. I always do. When I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks. And maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time. He gives Vince a sign that, and the burly man starts hitting you all over. You feel teeth, ribs, and fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot. Your shoulder dislocated. Your nose wrecked. That's enough, Vincent. Leave them be. Jesus, I made the wrong decision. Me and my curious ass. Always whenever I'm curious, I get my shit pushed in. He snaps his fingers in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely. I'm a man of principle. Another night, I would perhaps put you in a casket, dip it in concrete, and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the roaring 20s. It's been a while. But like I mentioned before, I am nothing but prudent, and so the interests of this city's kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. Here's what I require in return for this boon. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on you, on him. If you want a place with the Anarchs, you go through me and only me. Got it? Oh no, my game crashed by mistake. Oh no, whatever would I do? Fuck that. I'm not getting my shit pushed in. I have a job for Sophie. I'm gonna be the good pet in this game. Next time I'm gonna play it, I'm probably gonna be the... probably try to be on the side of the Anarchs. Okay, let's see. Well, shit. The game does not let you go back. Trolls, dictionary, skip, yeah. Oh well. You have to understand, what I made my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutually beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death. Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance. Callahan walks away, as do Vince and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together, your hunger growing. Can hear the beast calling for sustenance, for safety, for revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. It's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi. Passing and head back to your haven. Another typo. The whole way there, you are tempted by the beast. Your driver, a 30-something with a strong Slavic accent and an unpronounceable name on his ID, keeps asking if he should drive you to the hospital. You keep declining, all the while thinking that if you only ask him to pull over for 5 minutes, you could feast on him, on his warm blood, for the beast's content. Drink him whole. Nobody would know. Nobody but his wife and kids, if he has them. Nobody but his boss and co-workers. Nobody but you, as you look in the mirror tomorrow. Keeping your hunger at bay was never before as difficult as it is tonight. The driver stops at your apartment building. There is nobody around. You can do it. Do it. Now. Now. Not the best voice for the beast, but this is gonna be my first fledgling frenzy. The driver opens the door to you, asks if you are alright. His words change to a muffled shout. He goes silent. You think the taste is great. As a tired, caffeine-pumped taxi driver with high cholesterol can taste. Warm blood pours down your throat and flows to your limbs, mending them. He's growing cold, but you still do not have control. You are still observing, not acting. Your body is not yours. The beast is in charge. That's enough. Regain control. As I said, that's enough. No, it's not. I said that's enough. It will never be enough. Enough! You break away from the man. He's dazed, unconscious. He groggily says something about feeling tired. You leave the money on the driver's seat and let him rest in the back. The 4 familiar walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you have reined it tonight. Not a small feat, given your taste. You are still weak. You're still not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow you will have to feed again. Tomorrow you will have to consider your next move. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits, but tonight you rest. Jesus, I fucked up so badly. Waking up tonight feels different for 2 reasons. For one, you are pleasantly surprised that your body mended reasonably well while you were resting. It comes with a caveat though. The hunger you feel is pronounced. The beast like a black dog on the edge of your vision, following you. But what is truly remarkable is waking up to the tune of an old cell phone ringtone. An unknown number is calling the phone you got from Mia. You pick up. Kept that old thing charged after all, huh? You alright? Not actually, I feel like shit. Look, that's too bad, but I don't really care. Was just being polite. I'm calling with good news. Torque has agreed to meet you. There's a pub in the Bronx, Solids and Stripes. Be there tonight. 2 things. No drinking on the premises. So if you want to grab a snack, do it before setting foot in the borough. And this is an exclusively no powers meeting. We'll be rubbing shoulders with commoners and the whole evening. And also we don't trust you. So keep it casual or you'll blow it. Anything you'd like to add? I'm gonna have to be precise because if I go there, in a way, I'm gonna say that shit's about to go down, but I need to be precise. What happened? Yeah, I met Callahan yesterday. He kicked my ass and forbid me from meeting Torque. I'm not sure I should be there tonight. Silence on the line. Fuck. More silence. I can promise you any protection on your way there or back, but at the pub you'll be in Torque's domain. For all his posturing, Callahan doesn't have the balls to strike Torque directly. We'll post additional lookouts on watch. That's the best I can do. If Callahan got under your skin, I get it. I was in that spot once or twice too. All I've got to say is, the risk is worth it. Is it? If you don't show tonight, I won't blame you, but it's a one-time offer only. You gotta hedge your bets. Just don't do anything stupid. You meet with us tonight, it better be in good faith. She ends the call. First thing first, you take the subway to York Street Station, walk to the front street. Retrieve your car and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. Wait, first thing, you take the subway, okay. Retrieve your car and weigh your options while driving back to your haven. Okay, first I need to feed, that's inevitable. I fed last night. I mended. I should be alright for now in terms of blood. It's not that much blood around the screen. I wish there was like an actual meter or the dot system in the normal VTM. Okay, drive around before going to the meeting. Actually, no. That's a bad idea. If he's watching me, seeing if I go to Torque or not, best act will be to go there directly. While I'm inside, I'm protected. While I'll be outside, gonna have to figure something out. However, I have presence. I don't think Callahan will fight me, come for me himself. He'll send his ghouls. With his ghouls, I can take care of them. Just use Dominate or most probably Presence, as he'll send more. Yeah, go to the meeting directly. Dangerous or not, you have to make the trip to Bronx and meet with Torque. No detours, best to just get over with. Take some basic precautions as you enter Torque's turf. You park a few streets over from where the pub is and walk towards it while keeping an eye on for anyone suspicious. That Kindred, for the most part, looks no different than regular people. Makes things complicated, of course. If you're being followed or watched, it's going to be hard to tell. You reach the pub, shoot a final glance around. There's nobody suspicious around, as far as you can see, and open the door. The smell of cigarettes is overwhelming. The whole place has an aura about it. A constant fog hanging right under the ceiling. The lethargic fans do nothing to disperse it. The constant crack of blizzard balls and clinging of the glasses tells you all you need to know about the clientele. Not a very vampiric place at all. You're wondering if you got the address right. You apparently did. Mia's here. She motions you over to one of the few tables around. So you made it. Anyone follow you? Not that I know of. Fair enough. Before I introduce you, there's some outstanding business to discuss. I appreciate the help with getting the name out of Bruce. It's going to be a tough nut to crack. His master. She's one of the lawmen. Times where they'd sooner align with us than the cam. Anyway, this isn't the night for a history lesson. Torque's been waiting for you. He's been impressed by your work so far. Here's your chance to shine. Don't blow it. Oh, I'm gonna blow it. Knowing myself, okay. You walk towards one of the tables. A guy in a coat and hat leans over to take his shot. He's way ahead of his opponent. The table is clear of his balls, save for the 8th ball in a tricky position. Hey, they're here. Be between just a moment. The hit is fast, precise, and sends the black ball exactly where its player wanted it. His opponent lets out a frustrated sigh. That's that. I believe that's 150 American dollars, Joey. You wanna pay up now? Or up the stakes again? The disgruntled man accepts his defeat and pays up, then declares he's going to grab another beer. To the victor go the spoils. Thank you kindly. I like his suit though. He looks classy. He turns his full attention to you. The man is good looking, if somewhat gaunt and intense. His eyes especially seem to pierce right through to your core, but not in an unpleasant way. Name Stork, I believe you're Carl, Sophie Langley's new plaything. Is that right? And you anarchs too? How does everybody always know that? Word travels fast when you care to listen, Fledgling. We wouldn't be talking tonight if I hadn't learned that a long time ago. Forgive my being real with you right off the bat, but I like to know who it is I'm dealing with. So here's something that I've been scratching my head about. If you're with Langley, and Langley's scam, through and through, I'm told, what is it you've come to accomplish here tonight? Sophie Langley wants to meet with you. Don't ask why, she didn't tell me. She just said it has something to do with gathering allies against Boss Callahan. I'm here to arrange that meeting. The fuck, I knew nothing about this tea. They lied to me. Mia's furious. She's looking at the pool cue and as if... Hold on. She's looking at the pool cue and at you as if she was figuring out the best combination for the two. It's fine. I appreciate the honesty, even if you weren't straight with my second command. That I don't appreciate. Well, ain't that an interesting proposition? You can't be serious thinking about meeting with Langley. She's hardline cam. It's a trap. It must be. It just might be. It just might. He looks at you, pierces you. I thought this was a sound effect. No, I hit the soundboard by mistake. Okay. He looks at you, pierces you with his unnatural keen eyes. He's about to say something when a door opens at the back of the room. Hey, Torque, you, got a guest. They're in the back. Mia, won't you be a dear and keep our new friend company? I'll see what the commotion is. Sure thing. Torque tips his hat to you and walks to the back, joining a man who called for him. Mia glowers at you, this time weighing one of the pool balls in her hand. She looks like she has half a mind to chuckle it at your face. You gotta be quite happy with yourself, bluffing your way in here. Hey, whatever works, I got the message across, and that's what matters. Achieving your goal, no matter the cost, even if you have to lie and cheat your way into people's grace. I'm a Ventrue, of course I'm gonna do that. Jesus. Fucking hell, the camps got you good, Fledgling. Here I was beginning to think you might make a good addition to our little family. There's a whole lot of trust you'll have to regain before that happens now. Torque appears from a door at the back and calls across the room. Yo, Mia, can I grab you for a second? Carl, get over here too. I think I know who that is. You'll go to the back room. It's basically a storage area with a single wooden desk. It's pretty cramped, especially considering there are 5 other people in there with you. Torque ushers you in and closes the door behind you and Mia. 2 burly dudes are holding somebody down. A familiar voice reaches your ears. Motherfuckers, you're gonna pay for this, you hear me? The boss is going to fuck you up so bad you have no idea. Oh, have you had the doubtful pleasure of meeting Mr. Cerruti before, Carl? Yeah, we met yesterday. You're fucked. You're so fucked you don't even know it. You stupid piece of shit. Should have ended you yesterday. The boss told you to stay away. You should have listened. That's a story and a half, ain't it? Vince, calm down and tell me how many of you guys are still out there on my turf, Go fuck yourself. You're done. The boss will know this stupid piece of shit Fleshlip came here. You know they're with Langley. You know what that means, Torque. No, I don't. What does it mean, Vince? Now the boss can wipe you out. He just say you're sucking Langley's tits and all those buddies of yours. Gone. You're gone. You're done, Torque. Well now, if that's the case, I guess riding your city of your I guess ridding New York City of your toady ass won't make things any worse, will it? Actually, there's an idea. Vince mentioned that He beat you up yesterday. Did I hear that right, Carl? You want to repay the favor? Oh, I'm not gonna miss this opportunity. Gladly. Go right ahead. Stake Vince. So maybe presence will not have worked on him. Oh well, hurt Vince. A lot. You hit Vince 1, twice. He's chuckling in the beginning, but you focus your blood for some extra oomph and keep hitting him again. More until he stops laughing. He's bruised, battered, and broken. The two Anarchs dudes let go of him and you kick him some more while he's on the floor. You only stop when you hear Torque's voice. Enough's enough, Carl. He takes an old pool cue and breaks it over his knee. Stake him and take him downstairs. Let's keep Callahan guessing about what happened to his favorite puppy. Mia takes the sharp piece of wood and jams it into Vince's chest. His features grow slack, his entire body inert. He doesn't even give you a yelp. The other two Anarchs take him out of the room. As entertaining as that was, I think Vince, in his unmatched wisdom, shared more than Callahan would hope for. This changes things. Ever heard about Operation Lights Out, Carl? It was a second Inquisition effort here in New York City. A single night of raids at a magnitude never seen before, or since. The Ivory Tower got away with just a few losses here and there. No major players were hit. They managed to find safe spots and stay out of the eye of the shitstorm. Us, though, we got hit hard, all over town. Havens were rooted out, entire coteries and safe houses gone, just like that. Nobody saw it coming. I barely got out in one piece. Mia looks at him with concern and puts a hand on his arm. He shrugs it off, gently but surely. Others, like my child, Barb, or Mia's sire, extinguished. But you know who got out without a scratch? Callahan. We've thought about it for the past few years. How is it that Big B managed to excuse himself from the Staten Island Museum where we used to meet, just before vans full of guys in body armor show up? How is it that as my baby is burning up after being shot with incendiary rounds, I also see dog Callahan running with his tail between his legs, pushing fledglings like you in the path of the SI? We think the bastard knew that what was coming, and he set us up. Not just us. Some of our brothers and sisters who got hit had some of the lowest profiles in the city's leak population. The moral of the story: Callahan is an opportunistic motherfucker, and if even his fakest followers suggest he's going to sell me out, then that's what he's going to do, as sure as the sun rises. He pauses for a moment, and you see him reach a decision. You said something about Langley having an offer for me. It might be your fault in part that I'm in this juncture, but now is going to be as good a time as any to listen to what she has to say. So in the end, maybe me getting my ass kicked was probably the best outcome. I got Callahan into this situation. Torque even more, because yeah, I basically did not respect a boon from Callahan. Okay, boon. He's an anarch. We don't really recognize them, something like that. So yeah, now he has more reasons to join me. I don't think that's wise, T. Well, what would you have me do then? You said it yourself. It's all these fledglings' fault. They brought this on us. So let's use them as a bargaining chip. Callahan wants them. Langley needs them. They're valuable. No, you're wrong. I'm just a pawn. That's why Sophie sent me here. Plausible deniability and all. I'm expendable. The realization that you just summarized the entirety of the last 2 weeks or so hits you hard. But if there was a moment to be honest with yourself, it's now. Fuck. Kindred's lie. Kindred's use. Kindred deceive like no other. The man puts his hand on Mia's shoulder. She calms down a bit. We're afraid, Carl. But then, what else is new? It's a paradox being who we are. The hunter one night, the hunted another. Masters of the night, slaves to dawn. A duality to everything. Mia, I understand your concern, but I need you to trust me like you did before. This is my call and my responsibility. You can give me shit about it later, like I'm sure you will. Count on it. He smiles, then takes on a no bullshit look and points at you. 3 conditions. First, you come pick me up, personally, and bring me to the meeting spot. Anything goes sideways, it's your ass. Second, Mia's coming with me. No 2 ways about it. 8 eyeballs in the meeting. The 2 of you, the 2 of us. Nobody else. And third, the meeting is public. Downtown, some spot frequented by mortals. We see you take us anywhere fishy, we check out and fuck you up as a message to Langley. I count on it to not coming to that though. You seem likable enough. The camp hasn't gotten its talents in you yet. Keep it up and maybe you'll come to the same conclusion we did in your time. I'll make sure to repeat the conditions to Sophie. You do that. Best be on your way. Ask for me when you need me. The bartender knows how to get in touch. Just ask him to put the owner on the line. Mia walks to you to the door and accompanies you to your car. Listen, about what I said before. Save it. She freezes for a second, then shrugs her shoulders. Your call. See ya. She starts walking back to the bar as you start the engine and head back to Sophie's apartment. Time to give Sophie the good news. She welcomes you as openly as ever, clearly excited to see you and for that news you might bring. Good evening, Carl. How did your task? Good evening, Carl. How is your task going? You have something for me, perhaps? I did what you asked. The meeting is set up. Excellent. Experience any problems? I guess it's time to say everything. Boss Callahan's goons grabbed me yesterday and forced me to meet with him. It was very clear that I cannot be seen talking with Torque, or he'll have me killed. I went in and did it anyway. I appreciate your dedication, I really do. I'm sorry if you got hurt. Thank you for following through. Well, let's hear it. What did Torque agree to? You relay the Anarch's leader's conditions. You are to pick him up and Mia. The meeting should only include the 4 of you, and it should be held in a public space. Those are all fair enough. Although I do worry about that Mia character. Tell me, do you think she's trustworthy? Well, Torque trusts her, so we can too, I think. Very well. As for the place, I wonder if they would agree to meeting in Hudson Yards, the vessel. Plenty of tourists visit that place, but if we go there after midnight... She seems to have made up her mind. Yes, bring them there tomorrow night. Look for me near the top level. Do you think Torque and Mia will agree to meeting in the city? It's Camarilla territory. Won't they be too cautious to come here? They did ask me to pick the spot, did they not? It's public and in the open. They should love it. Pick them up at midnight, then drive back to Midtown. That's the plan. I'll be waiting as long as it takes. Within reason. I'm counting on you, Carl. The final puzzle piece is about to find its way to its destination. After that, we will all get our just reward. You, me, the Camarilla, even the Anarchs. Oh, I could kiss you. Yes, you'd like that. You desire it. She must have caught it in your expression. She smiles. A figure of speech, darling, or at least tonight. But a few nights from now, who knows, I'm growing fond of you, and success whets my appetite for these kinds of things. The sexual tension in the room becomes unbearable until it suddenly disappears. Was this another one of Sophie's tricks, or an actual spark of arousal in both of your undead bodies? Nah, that's a trick, bro. You've been played all along. You certainly felt the blood flow through you for a short moment. The warmth in your groin takes you by surprise. Didn't think you could do that anymore. Or did you just imagine it? Use the rest of the night well, Carl, and rest. We are but a day's sleep away from shaking this city awake. I've got to